how much does it really cost? Prices were just going up. So that's how I paid extra money. But guys, guess what? That was not the end though. That was not the end. 1,700 USD. Guys, it's hurting me to say it. Hurting me. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited because today we're starting a new series and it's about money. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of questions. Well, how much does it really cost? In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how much it really costs me to come to Norway. This is necessary costs, not like shopping for food or clothes or anything. The necessary costs, and this is also apart from the money that I had to pay to school to show for proof of living expenses. This is just my own personal cost in the entire process. So like I said when I first started, we're starting a money series. So in this money series, after today, in the weeks to come, we're going to consider how much I spent when I first came. Like the first 2 days that I came, I had to make some major purchases that were like one-off purchases, like my chair, you know, my kettle, my blender, all those kind of one-off purchases, right? We'll talk about that. Then we'll also talk about the recurring purchases as well. So just stick with me in the next 2-3 weeks, including this week. And then we are going to cover everything. So now to the agenda of the day. Our video today is about how much it actually cost me to come to Norway, guys. Whew. When I was calculating it, I'm like, okay. Let me get serious. In this video, I'm going to talk about visa costs, passport costs, and visa costs. I already talked about it in this video. When I talked about the total when I was talking about coming to school here and visa application process, everything. But this video is specifically about costs, right? Visa costs, my passport costs, my COVID test, and my tickets, right? And the things that happen in between that made some things more expensive than they were supposed to be, and you know, just the breakdown of everything. So now let's get into it. So the first thing is visa costs, right? Which, if you have been following this my videos on studying in Norway, you already know what the visa cost is. So like I mentioned in that video, the study in Norway video, the visa costs 4,900 NOK for students. So if you're applying for a student visa and you're above 18 years old, your visa application is 4,900 NOK. I'm going to put a link in the description box below where you can check more information. It's a link to UDI. UDI is the visa application platform where you can check for costs and fees of other types of visas that you may be interested in. 4,900 NOK for the visa is like 222,500 naira and a bit of change on it. And then in dollar that's USD. It's like 584 US dollar. These are Google conversions, right? So it might be different if you actually try to do it in your country or at your local bank or something, but these are Google conversions. So that's it for the visa cost, right? So for my passport, when I was going to travel, my travel date was like 6 months backward, 6 months from my passport expiration date. And it's very advisable when you're traveling that if your passport is expiring within 6 months or in 6 months, that you renew before you travel, especially if you're going to like travel long term. So I didn't want a case where I'm in Norway, I'm new here, I will now be trying to get where to renew my passport, how to renew my passport, like I don't know if borders will even be closed and all of that. So I wanted to renew it before coming so that I can have a long-term passport with me. Now, so the thing is, when I was coming, it was kind of like, okay, let's say my passport is going to reach the 6 months mark in a few days, right? I went earlier than the 6 months mark. And this was because if I had gone on the time that it was actually the 6 months mark to expiration, it would have been too close to my travel date and my passport it will not have been ready. And I mean, if you're a Nigerian listening to this, you know that sometimes, you know, things in Nigeria can be very, let me not use any words that currently come to mind, but I mean, you have to just give allowance for excuses, lapses, and you know, things that may occur that will not allow you to achieve what you're trying to achieve. So I went earlier and I had to pay extra money for that. I think they called it something about immigration or immigrant something. I don't remember the exact word, but they said they had to go through an immigration process for me to renew my visa earlier, like some days earlier than when it was actually at the 6 months mark of expiration. So the passport itself, not the visa, the passport itself costs 45,000 naira for 32 pages. 45,000 naira should be like 140, no, 45,000 naira, let's see hold that, 45,000 naira. Then I paid extra 10,000 naira for the, you know, immigration thing that they mentioned, because it was not yet the 6 months mark. So in total I spent 55,000 naira on doing my passport, which is like around 144 US dollars, right? And all these prices that I'm saying, all these costs that I'm saying are typically Nigerian. All these costs, like from passports going forward, they are Nigerian costs, right? Aside from the visa, that is a general cost, from the UDI, every other thing I'm going to be talking about, passports, tickets, COVID test, they are Nigerian prices and costs. Please check with your country for what your costs are. Obviously they're going to be different from mine, right? And what mine, I'm just saying it in USD so that you can just have an idea of how much it costs me coming from Nigeria, right? And these conversions I'm using are Google conversions, and we know that, well, for me in Nigeria you will not always get Google conversion rates if you're trying to, you know, convert your money. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to do some calculations and you're coming from Nigeria. If Google conversions work in your country, great. So moving on. So now to the COVID-19 test. COVID-19. COVID-19. Okay, I should stop saying that. To my COVID test, right? Because I mean, as I was traveling, I needed to have my test to say that, oh, I don't have the COVID. So the test cost 50,000 naira, right? I don't know how much tests currently cost right now in Nigeria, but at that time that was like the main price everywhere where you look. Oh, how much is COVID test? 50k, 50k, 50k. So 50,000 naira, and I think that's around 130 something USD for my COVID test. When I think about it, it pains me that I had to spend money on COVID test because when I came to Norway for my quarantine, right? I mean, the tests were free. I mean, in the hotel that we were, oh, you can do tests, just schedule a test downstairs, go downstairs, get a free test. So, you know, I'm just like, I paid over $100 trying to get a test at home. But anyway, moving on. In case you didn't know, I've been posting like vlogs on Sundays, right? So I post like the main video on Friday, but last Friday I put up a vlog as well. So I've been posting a lot of vlogs because a lot of people have been asking me for vlogs. They want to see other parts of life in Norway aside from you know, just processes on how to study. So I've been posting a lot of vlogs. So in the next 2 weeks, I'm also going to post vlogs about my quarantine experience and my travel experience, right? So I put a poll on my Instagram. By the time I mean you're seeing this, the poll will have been over. So if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on if the first vlog you want to see is the quarantine experience or the travel experience. So whoever wins in quarantine and travel will go first, which is on Sunday, and the next one will go next week, which is next week. So follow me on Instagram so you don't miss out on stuff like this. All right. To the fourth thing on the list, tickets. See guys, the amount I spent on my ticketing, like it annoys me when I think about it. I'm like, why did I spend that much on my tickets? Okay, so moving on. So there are a few things to consider when you want to book your ticket, right? Because when you're coming from, no, at least to Stavanger, I'm not really sure about the other places in Norway. If you're coming to Stavanger, I mean, there's no straight flights from Nigeria, from Lagos to Stavanger. So you have to have like different stops, and mostly it's like 2 stops. I think maybe there should be a few routes that you can pass that will be 1 stop, and maybe some even 3, but it was 2 stops from Lagos to Stavanger. So different options depending on the airline that you pick. And there are a few things to consider when you're making this decision, like, you know, if you need a visa where you're stopping over, how many hours you're stopping over for. Because there's some stopovers that are like just so long and you don't want to do that, you know, how many hours you're stopping over for and all that. So you need to consider these things when you're trying to make a decision on what route and what, you know, airlines to use when you're coming, right? The date I wanted to come to Norway was the 17th of December, right? And this was because, I mean, I wanted to, there was a 10 days quarantine thing. So if you come to Norway at that time, and I think that should still be the case now, because I mean there's still the COVID, you have to quarantine for 10 days in a quarantine hotel before you're allowed to go about your business or whatever reason you came to Norway for. So I had to put this into consideration, and I wanted to finish my 10 days quarantine before school starts. And when I picked the 17th, I was just thinking that, okay, by the 17th, if I do 17th, I'll be able to finish my quarantine maybe before New Year, so that I won't be in quarantine during New Year. Maybe I can just see the city, go out, you know, something, if people are allowed to go out at the time. So I picked the 17th. The ticket cost me 480,000 naira. That's like a little over $1,200 US dollars, right? So 480k. And when I was booking and making all these plans, you know, I was planning to travel in December. This was still October. So I was trying to make my plans early enough so that I don't have to spend too much paying for tickets. You know, the closer it is to the dates, the more expensive it is. And then it was festive season, so prices were going to go up. But then something now came up. School now said that, oh, if you come to Norway after December 26th, we will cover the cost of your quarantine. Because the way it was at the time, when you come to Norway, they put you in quarantine hotel. I think the government subsidizes. I don't know if that was for everybody or just for students alone. So, but for students anyway, the government subsidized, like paid some parts of the money, and then the other parts, school said they were going to foot the bill. Hey, so as students, we didn't have to pay any money for quarantine, right? So school now said that they will only pay for quarantine for you if you're coming after a certain date in December. I think it was the 26th or something. I think it was the 26th. And me, my own flight is 17th. So obviously, I am not ready to pay for quarantine in another country, okay? So, and this was already like November, so I had to change my date and move my flight forward so that at least it will fall during that period and I won't have to pay for quarantine. So now, obviously, now that I have to change the dates, I have to pay extra money, right? And see, this thing really did me in my chest one kind of way, right? So the first time that I inquired about this price change for this change of dates, they said, oh, this new date is going to cost you 68,000. I'm like, okay, I didn't make my decision that day. I was just like still thinking about it, like, another 68,000 on top of my 480k. The thing was doing me in my chest. I waited some days after, you know, still trying to make my decision. Should I move it? Should I do it? What should I do? Blah, blah. By the next time I asked, it was 75,000. For some reason, I still didn't, you know, make the make the payments. And you know, like I said, the more it gets closer to the travel day, the more expensive it becomes, and the prices were just going up. By the third time, I was not ready to make the payment. Maybe I didn't even have money at that time. I don't even remember, but I know I didn't make the payment the first two times that I asked. By the third time I was trying to make the payment, it was 95,000 naira. That's extra 95,000 naira on my 480k. So I'm like, okay, I paid the 95,000 naira, which is above $200, right? And I mean, the thing was really making me sad in my chest, like, oh my god, this money that I just spent. Anyway, moving on. So that's how I paid extra money. But guys, guess what? That was not the end, though. That was not the end. That's how after a while, the airline cancelled the flight, which wouldn't have been a problem really, because if the airline cancelled the flight, I would have just gotten a new date and everything would have been fine. We'll just go. But then there was now this regulation, if you're coming to Norway, that you have to quarantine where you land. Like, not exactly where you land, you have to quarantine at your first point of entrance, something like that, right? So I was thinking, and the way my stopover was, I was supposed to go from Lagos to Istanbul, and Istanbul in Turkey, and then from Turkey to Oslo. Oslo was my second stopover, and then from Oslo to Stavanger, right? So you can see how the flight was long. But I was now thinking that if my first point of entry is Oslo, that means I'll have to quarantine in Oslo. But the thing is, I didn't really know other students that were coming around that time. It would have really helped me if I knew and if we had conversation, because a lot of students did not change their flights. You know, they don't change their flight or anything. They still did their stopover in Oslo and went to Stavanger, and nobody stops them. But I was trying to be on the safe side, you know, trying to do things the right way, trying to avoid any problems, which is good. Always do things the right way. So I'm like, okay, if the law says this, I mean, the way it now really happened was, since it was just a stopover, they just allow people to, I think they allow people to go for that period, or maybe it was just students, I don't know. But I know that people went through Oslo and they didn't have to wait. So me now, trying to be safe, like I said, I now said, okay, I'll just split my flights. Like, instead of going from Oslo straight to Stavanger, I'll just stay in Oslo, tell them at the airport, because the school I told us, just tell them at the airport that you're a student and, you know, you're for quarantine, that will just take you straight to the quarantine hotel airports provided transport and everything. You didn't have to pay for that. So I just said, okay, I'll split it and put my Stavanger flights after 10 days of quarantine. But then the issue, you know, the real issue. Okay, no, before we even get to that, this was going to cost me extra money because now I've kind of like changed my itinerary, right? Is it itinerary or itinerary? I changed my schedule. I changed my plan, basically. So now I was paying extra 6,000 naira, which is like 199 USD. Like I said, all these are Google conversions, right? It might vary in your I mean, when you're trying to actually do it. So extra 76,000. So you can see that the total of my money I spent on my ticket now is coming to over 600k. Can you see? So that's how this happened. But then when I now got to the problem now, the additional problem that now happened, it wasn't really a problem. It was a problem to my account, at least. The additional thing that now happened is changing the flights from not going straight and stopping at Oslo and staying 10 days and going to Stavanger now meant that my flight from Oslo to Stavanger was no longer the same connecting flight. It was now a local flight, right? And on local flights, they only allow one luggage, one baggage. And I mean, I had 3. I had to pay for extra luggage, which cost me like $128. Aside from this $128 that I paid for extra luggage, my total ticket cost now came to like 651,000 naira, which was like 1,700 USD. Guys, it's hurting me to say it. Hurting me to say it. So why did I share this entire breakdown with you? Don't make these mistakes that I made, okay? Like, just have full information before you jump before you jump and make decisions. Find out if I maybe, I don't know, somehow try to find out if they would actually let me fly from Oslo straight to Stavanger. I wouldn't have had to spend the extra 78k and the extra $128 that I used for the change of flight and the extra ticket, because it was now a local flight. You get? So just make your inquiry before you just jump and buy tickets, or before you make decisions and everything. I hope this helps. Don't forget, like, we're doing a money series. This is the first video in the money series. In the next few weeks, I'm going to drop more things about money, how much it cost me to buy my stuff, the first set of things I had to use in my room, and then the things I buy month on month, like an idea of how much it costs and everything. You guys are going to really like that. And like I said, I've been dropping vlogs on Sundays and you guys have been missing it. Like, I don't know why. I mean, you guys were asking me for vlogs and now you don't watch it. Why? But the vlogs are really interesting, guys. And this Sunday, like I said, there's going to be a poll like before the Sunday to decide if you guys want quarantine vlog or travel vlog. So whichever wins is going to be the vlog for this Sunday, and the next one is going to be the vlog for next Sunday. So turn on your post notification, guys. The vlog usually drops in the afternoon around 1 p.m. West African time, which is like 2 p.m. Norwegian time, and I don't know the rest for the rest of you, but turn on your post notifications so that you don't actually miss anything that is coming, because this is going to be very interesting, guys. You're going to love it. And aside from that, I have other things planned for you guys next month. And also, don't forget, on the 30th of April, we are going live on YouTube to answer your questions. Guys, let me just address this real quick. I was really trying, like, I've been trying to go through my emails, to respond to emails and DMs especially. You people, why are you doing this to me? You're breaking my heart, right? Because I keep seeing questions on things that I've already addressed. Like, it's actually hard for me. It's difficult when you're asking me things in the DMs that I've already answered in videos. Like, I put effort into making these videos for you. Please watch it. Like, somebody will tell me, oh, I've watched your videos on YouTube, but please, I would like to know. And then you ask me a question, which shows me that you didn't watch the videos. So maybe you just opened it and said, this girl has information, let me send her a DM. But like, you didn't watch the video for the actual information that you need. It's going to help everybody, all of us, save my time, save your time if you watch the videos. And if there's anything that because that's how I can help you, because I will just watch the videos before you ask me stuff. And also for the live on April 30th, that's on Friday, prepare your questions. There's going to be a link in the description box where you can also ask questions, and also ask me questions that will be very beneficial. Don't ask me something that I already addressed. I'm likely not to answer that. I'll just say, oh, watch this video. So maximize it. Ask me something that I've not addressed and that I've not mentioned that I'm going to address in the next few weeks. Then that way you're going to benefit a lot from it. You know that I'm here for you guys, for your benefits. Okay, I'm actually excited. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, you know, so that YouTube can recommend it to other people and they can have this information as well and not make the kind of mistakes that I made, and save some coins, you know. Yeah. All right guys, bye. Like time, I wasn't expiring. We were focus.